Hi, Abhilash. Good to meet
Hi,
you.
Vipin. Good to see you after such a long time. I mean, it's been almost a decade since we first met.
Yes, Abhilash. It's about a decade that we first met, and we haven't got much opportunities also to connect back after that.
Yeah, I mean, we did meet a couple of times in conferences, but I still clearly remember the first night I saw you was in IIM Calcutta in the Tata Hall, and you checked in before me, and we met at the cafeteria the night before the course was to start. So good. It's been a long time, and tell me, how has been the last 10 years been?
Yes, Abhilash. I also clearly remember the first time we met at the IIM campus. That was a very important day for me as such because when we were growing up, that was one of the campuses where we really wanted to get in, and it started off well. And I think that was also a good start for our friendship. Even though we meet less, we could connect once in a while and share our thoughts and ideas about various things on marketing. Yes, just to quickly tell you, so this video we are making for our, for our friends and followers who are in business, who are managing similar, roles like ours. Possibly, we'll quickly tell them, how we are managing the current pandemic with some of our thoughts and experience, what we gained, in the last 1 year, and also the second wave was much more, uh, dangerous than what it was in the first phase. Yeah, okay. So let me tell you, the last 10 years, after completing that course, I was working with Citigroup at that point in time. I was with that company for next 2 more years. After that, I moved to Geojit BNP Paribas. I joined as a vice president and head of marketing, and I was with that company for about 7 years. And after that, I had a small stint in the Middle East. I went to Bahrain as a part of a digital marketing startup, and I was with that group for about 2 years. I came back to India to join software product company. It's a US based software product company. I joined them as their director of marketing. I was with them for about a year and 2 3 months. And now I have started my own venture. It's called VNKL. It's primarily a brand consulting company, Abhilash. I will tell a little bit more about it in the next part of our discussion. Yeah, let
No,
me
that's very
also.
exciting. And I also remember you have a great voice. So I think many people would have seen you or heard about your special talent in singing, and especially with Kishorda. And I especially remember when we were in a conference together, Anupam Kher brought you on stage and asked you to sing a few lines. So I think it's a great thing, you're talented. And this VNKL opportunity looks pretty exciting.
Yes, Abhilash. Yeah, singing, that's something which really relaxes me more than anything else. Even during the first part of the lockdown, that was something which I was doing more frequently. Now, second lockdown, nothing much. Yeah, Abhilash. So that's always there with me. And let me know about your journey, last 10 years. Where all
Yeah,
you have
so
been.
yeah, so as you know, when I was in IIM Calcutta with the MDP course, you were in Citigroup, I was with 3M. So like yours, even my program was sponsored by 3M. So I stayed for a few more months with them. Then I joined Philips in the global marketing, and I was primarily spent the better part of the decade with them, primarily commercializing new products in different geographies of the world. And the best part of that job was you could go and travel across the world, and you could look and meet customers and commercialize your products. And the similar kind of a
Yeah,
role which
I
I had.
remember a lot of your photographs in the US during that part of your
Yeah,
career. Yeah.
yeah. So my business unit was a global unit, so I had to commute and travel wherever the customers were, and the customers were primarily global. Now then, after that, I worked with GE for some time, and then currently I am heading the sales and marketing for a Gates Foundation funded startup. And
Okay.
here my objective, or we are solving for the problem of saving lives at birth in low resource settings and countries where the healthcare is not very well established. So here my primary focus is neonatal and maternal care. And across the globe, wherever I have an opportunity, I run these programs. So sitting here in Bangalore, I can reach out to customers, especially across Latin America and Africa, considering this time of a travel ban. I could communicate with them over video conferencing and so on. So I think that is something which has happened in the last 1 or 2 years. It's like
Okay.
digitization and communication coming completely in the audio visual realm. So yeah, I mean,
Okay.
primarily this is what I do right now,
That's
and
good.
great connecting with you. And of course, it's a great opportunity to start to turning entrepreneur and to start up something of your own.
Yes, Abhilash, I always had this in mind that I really want to do something on my own. But as people like us who were working for the last so many years, it's not a very easy decision to just jump into something. Yeah. So finally, VNKL, what actually it does is it's a brand consulting company. That's something which we were doing for the last 20 odd years. So we can't think of any other business than what something which we have worked and experienced on. So we help companies to identify the brand challenges and come up with the right marketing content to achieve what they want to achieve. So that is what we primarily do. In most of the cases, we start with a brand audit. We understand what the company's objectives are, and we really look whether that is in sync with the marketing communication, right from the website to social media platforms to their sales materials to whatever communication they have on the public platforms. And then we help them to fine tune it wherever required. We
Mhm.
also do a lot of content. We create video content to be very specific. We help companies to come up with product videos, content videos, advertising campaigns. We work right from the concept to scripting to production, and also promoting those content through the right channels. So that is one part of our business. The other part of our business is e-commerce consulting. We help companies to realize the online potential they have, and we build e-commerce portals, and we help them to promote and achieve the business potential that they can actually have on e-commerce. We also help in building the various apps, apart from the web-based solutions. So that is what we basically do. Oh yeah, the pandemic has made us relook some of our focuses. Yeah, which I will tell possibly in the next leg of our discussion. So, what exactly was the change which you experienced? Possibly
Yeah,
in the advent of COVID, and more specifically in the second wave.
yeah. So I mean, that's very exciting, and it's because what you're doing is very relevant to the way in which the world is turning towards. For example, most of the important discussions, meetings would have taken on a face-to-face medium. But what we see right now is like people are conducting in-depth reviews or even interviews on a video call. And commuting has absolutely gone to zero for obvious reasons. But business and commerce has continued. Now, especially the business side, pitching to new clients, talking to stakeholders. Earlier, you would have to take an appointment, fly out, and especially when you are having a role which is global in nature, you would have to be considerate about the cost and your time worthwhile. But now you can schedule a call or a video call with just about anybody. I see the previous hesitancy about coming on video calls to talk about important or critical information. That hesitancy has gone. Now people are more proactive, and they are more prone towards coming on video calls and audio calls, and even talking minute details and confidential information. So that has changed dramatically in the last 1 year. Going forward, I think what is also helping is like most of our sales teams. So my business depends a lot on face-to-face sales, and that includes demos and so on. And I see a lot of customers or potential clients becoming comfortable with online demos, with videos, and the entire sales process is getting therefore onto the digital space. So therefore there is a greater emphasis now on good content, because a good content sells the product, and it tells the story which you want to convey without missing out anything. So you are sure that the salesperson is delivering the right message, and it is hitting the right cues. when the content absolutely is what is tailored or what has been requested for by the customer. And therefore, this content could be delivered through a video message or through creatives, through video commercials, or for that matter, even through a good interactive email messages. But the entire awareness set, creating interest, in the ADA model, the awareness and interest has entirely been switched from a physical face-to-face sales to completely on the digital medium. So you may even now, some people may sign off and complete the orders, which is the last part in the funnel, which is the action part, and that even now we are seeing customers becoming very, very enthusiastically signing contracts over video calls, which was unheard of in the last 1 or 2 years, because for obvious reasons, data privacy reasons or secrecy reasons, whatever reasons, people were not willing to sign off large contracts on without meeting a face to face, without building a chemistry. But this pandemic has been prolonging for such a long time that people know that business and commerce can't wait. And similarly, when I look at my online digital sales, most of our B2C customer sales are not happening through distributors, dealerships, and feet on street. It's happening primarily through Amazon, through Flipkart, and through online e-commerce portals. And their digital marketing plays a very important role in bringing saliency to your product, so that they are well supported in either through a Google ad or through Amazon ads or whichever platform you choose. So on two sides, one, on the go to market side, it has become very important, or probably the only medium where you can communicate to your customers is through digital channels. And on the content creation side, it has become so important because now that 2 minute video replaces a 20-minute face to face conversation. So everything needs to be communicated in those few minutes which we get in front of the customers. So I think that's something which has changed dramatically. And VNKL is therefore rightly poised at the right time. It's like an inflection point in history, wherein most of the things which were earlier resource intensive, needed travel, were expensive, can now be delivered seamlessly online, digitally, through content, through mediums which customers are most comfortable with at this point. So, I mean,
Yes,
that's
you're right.
exactly what has happened.
Yes, Abhilash, you're right on that. In fact, we had to make little bit of changes, as this second wave of pandemic had set in. We were very focused in video production, like I said. We can see that more and more companies wanted to build a brand story, with a combination of real outdoor shoots and all those things. And we were well equipped for that because we thought we were fundamentally storytellers. So on the even for the advertising side and building the corporate videos, we really wanted a lot of our focus on that side. But in the last 1.5 months, obviously the outdoor shooting is going to be really challenging, and most of the state governments have put a ban to it. So we had to kind of realign our focus a little bit.
Mhm.
So now we help companies primarily on a lot of the social media content. So that's one area where we
Mhm.
are making a we have made a few contracts with companies primarily in healthcare, financial services, and IT. We are helping a few companies in that side, and also another area is we are making animation videos, which is kind
Mhm.
of an alternate for to tell a brand story. So that is one area we are kind of putting some of our efforts in building our own capabilities in delivering
Mhm.
quality videos. Yeah,
Yeah.
so pandemic like this will always make us think what next, what best can be done if our plan A is not working well. So we are at a stage where we are kind of getting our plan B rolled out. Great.
Mhm. No, you're right. And in fact, I've seen some of your videos in which you're using drones and so forth and so on. So I guess that's the way it's going to be, like less contact and more remote kind of a video shooting, wherein that's something which is like an order of the day. So it's good you have adopted technology to override this challenge, but it's commendable.
I can tell you once you start using drone for a project. you will definitely use it for the next project also, because the scope of the project entirely changes. You get different angles and high rise shots and so many possibilities, which will make your video a lot more appealing and impactful. So yeah, so
Mhm.
you're right on that.
Okay, good. And what are the other trends which you're seeing your clients asking for? Are they looking at long format videos or short format bursts? What is the flavor of the season now
Yeah, so
in this place?
when we actually sit with clients, it's becoming our responsibility to actually tell them what will work and what will not work. Okay, I have come across a lot of clients where they wanted videos which talks about multiple concepts in one single video. Let's say if you go to a company, they will say, I want to talk about this aspect, that I want to talk about this product, and I end up telling them, hey, then that will look like a feature film. That such videos are not going to work. So net, we also have a responsibility to tell the clients what will work, on a digital platform. So mostly we recommend small, crisp videos. Let's say if you have five concepts to tell to the market, it's better that you make five different videos rather than
Mhm.
putting everything in one and making the video longer, so that people who might be interested to know about topic A might not be interested to know about topic B. So it is better to
Mhm.
have very focused small videos which can be used as
Sure.
your marketing content.
And absolutely, it makes a lot of sense because then you can select your channel where you want to put that video. For example, a channel like Insta would appreciate a certain or their viewers will appreciate a certain kind of video which is probably more humorous or so on. And whereas a more serious channel like a LinkedIn would ask for a different kind of clientele or different kind of approach. So I mean, yeah, I understand. So good. This is like I guess this is evolving. So as more and more people get on the or remain on the screens, people would expect you to basically have all the armaments in your armory, so that you may like to target Facebook users, or for example, tomorrow an OTT user, they would be they're looking at, I want to place an ad in an OTT and so on. So I mean, good. That's something which actually sounds very exciting. Good. So what else is new? What else do you think? Uh, Customers or clients could be would be benefiting? What would be your other suggestions or recommendations would be? So do you suggest that clients start off with a brand audit as a baseline, and then you check whether they have a vision and whether the current communication goes towards meeting that vision or that future state where they want to be? How do you guide your
See,
clients towards this?
Abhilash, after talking to if you possibly close to 100 clients, one of our important observations is that you know most of the companies plan their campaigns without really looking within that. What does that we currently have, and is my current content in sync with my brand objectives? So such kind of thinking we found a little bit lacking in corporate India. I'm not talking about possibly the very large companies with with systematic systems to function. But when you look at medium to small size, medium to large kind of businesses, probably a little bigger than SME size, most of these companies want to launch a campaign. So we are trying to bring in some kind of importance to first looking at putting everything black and white. So this is your objective. To achieve this objective, it is better that you use these kind of communication, these kind of channels. So what is that you currently have? What are your strengths in your existing communication? What are the areas to improve? So we really look within, help companies to look within before we build something. So most of the
Interesting.
agencies, what I found is that they really start with a campaign. So for us, starting the campaign is part two. We spend good enough time in understanding the organization, understanding the brand objectives, understanding the current communication style, the strength, the weaknesses of the current style, and then very clearly building a campaign or building the content is the next phase for us. So we spend enough
Okay.
time within the organization in understanding and advising them what best and what to do about it. So that's
That's
been our
interesting.
approach.
And so most of the MSMEs which you're working with, they would be probably going digital for the first time, and they would be having a lot of questions. And primarily, they're looking at taking their businesses from the offline space to the online space for the first time. So therefore, they are primarily looking at advice and good guidance. I guess that's where you come in.
I would say a combination of both. When we work with companies who have been trying digital for a while, but who really want to kind of figure out whether are we doing right. I find many
Hmm,
such customers. After doing
hmm,
digital campaign for about 5 years or 10 years,
hmm,
suddenly they will pause and say, "Hey, we did so many things, but did we really
hmm,
get what we are supposed to get out of our efforts?"
hmm,
And most of the time, when such a thinking comes within the organization, and when they try to put the ROI, on a sheet and look, they'll feel that okay, hey, I haven't really got much from my digital efforts. So
yeah.
I would say 70% of my clients are in that space, where they're taking a pause and looking back. Did I do the
Hmm,
right things? So such clients, like I told you earlier, we will help them analyze where they went wrong, where
hmm,
they really did well, and help them to finalize the way forward. The other 30 odd percentage clients, like you mentioned now, are the first timers. So first
I see.
timers come with no much inhibition. They are really they are raring to go. They just want to get it started. But even for them, our approach is right. We approach the same actually. We tell them that hey, if this is what you want to achieve, from our experience of working with similar clients, this is what has worked, and this is the kind of content you need to build to tap to a particular segment. Video works well. To tap to a different segment, possibly you may have to have different kind of content. Even in B2B, for the same organization, you need to have different kinds of content. For
Mhm.
example, if your target audience is a CTO and a CEO, what appeals to a CTO will not appeal to a CEO. So you need to have a different kind of content for a CTO, which is more technology oriented. A CEO will be more interested to know about the business transformation. How this can make a difference to the bottom line, and there will be a set of influencers, something like a head of marketing, head of sales, head of customer service. Such people will need different kind of content. So basically,
Hmm,
even within the same organization in a B2B segment, we tell customers that it's not the same content which will appeal across your customers or
hmm.
even within the same organization. So such kind
Sure.
of thoughts we give to our customers, Abhilash,
Hmm.
and that's what we are trying
Understood.
to do.
And Vipin, so BNKL, what are the branches or which cities and towns do you cover currently? And
Okay.
if you can give me a list of who's your main focus in terms of industry, or what are the different industries which you serve? Tell me a little more about it.
Okay, so there are two, three things here. One, your first question was, the geography of operation. We are based in Kochi, and we are servicing, at the moment, we are servicing clients all over Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Mumbai. So these are the four regions where we have clients at the moment. We also have a couple of sales associates, one in Bahrain, where I worked for 2 years. So Middle East is also an important market for us. We have sales associates and sales partners operating out of Bahrain to tap the Middle East opportunities. We also have a sales associate in Frankfurt in Germany to look at the European opportunities. So this
Mhm,
is where we are focused now. Primarily, I would say the south of India plus Mumbai, and Middle
mhm,
East operating out of Bahrain, and Europe out of Frankfurt. So that is
yes,
where our operational geography. And to talk about verticals or the sectors we are currently working, we are doing a lot of work for education. We are working
mhm,
with a couple of large groups who are in the education sector. We are helping financial services companies.
mhm,
We are working with Ayurvedic clients, who really wanted to go global, but unfortunately, such companies are going a little slow because of the current situation. We are working with some electrical manufacturers
mhm,
to brand and come out to launch a product. We are working with healthcare, one of the
mhm,
largest diagnostic centers in India. We are helping them do quite a lot of things, and we are working with retail customers primarily on the e-commerce side. So
Mhm.
this is what we are. But having said that, we don't have any. Of course, we are working with a couple of IT companies as well. We don't have any industry restrictions. We come with we have sufficient expertise to work for multiple industries because the fundamentals are all the same. We have expertise in B2B and B2C, so we are pretty much equipped to serve across industries. Abhilash.
Okay, good. So just a few final questions. And how much should a client factor in terms of time, as well as, can you also tell about something about the costs involved, or this is pretty much tailor-made to and varies from client to client?
I would like to say it's pretty much tailor made because we haven't made any. We are not selling anything packaged at the moment because we don't want to do that. We really want to understand them, understand the problems, and then come up with a solution. It's pretty much like how a doctor deals with a patient. A doctor don't really go to a patient saying that, hey, I'm going to do an operation on you. No, I really want to see your body, how it functions, and if you have a uh, problem to be solved, then I will solve your problem. So that's how we look at it. To be very specific to your question, yes, it's very much tailor made, and normally we have 2 meetings maximum with the clients before we understand their brand objectives and the brand challenges and the brand ambitions they have. That will not take more than about 2.5 hours of conversations with possibly at 2 or 3 different levels, and that is pretty much enough for us to start our work. And then we normally get into a research in that segment, understand the competition, and which will also be an important information for us before we launch a campaign for a client. So about 2.5 hours of meeting time with 2 or 3 different levels will help us understand what they want and what they want to do, and then we propose various things. So brand videos or brand communication is something which we tell every client. It is very important. Irrespective of the segment you are in, you should have a brand story to tell what your company is all about. And that should be a very precise 1 to 2 minutes of video. So that's something which we recommend to every client if they don't have that, because that's the first starting point whenever they are trying to interact with the client. So we start with that, then we look at specific content. What are the communications which you have for your products? And then comes the social media part. Social media, if you have certain focus, what frequency you should have, what are the different social media channels you need to look at. So that is the third part of it. And the fourth and the most important part is what kind of channels you use. How do you really push your content out? Are you using Google, or do you want to do more of push campaigns, pull campaigns? Is lead generation one of your important aspect? Or you're planning to build your brand and you believe that leads is a part of it? So such analysis is also done in the process, and we help our clients in implementing all these campaigns.
I see. That sounds good. So, wish you all the best, Vipin. This is like a very interesting time to be in, when you have to manage everything remotely and you and your team have to basically sync up over video calls and calls. But I guess this is the new normal, and I wish you all the best in the success of VNKL. We'll keep in touch, and I'll root for your success.
Thank you, Abhilash. Thank you very much. It's been an interesting conversation, and this also helped me to open up a little bit and possibly tell the world that what we do. And thank you very much. And I wish you all the best for your business. Take care of yourself, your family, your health, which is very important
Yeah,
in a time like this. And
yeah.
good night, Abhilash. Thank you very much. Thanks for the
Thank you
conversation.
so much, and we'll be in touch. Take care. Goodbye. Good night.
Bye bye.